Hey everybody, Austin back again with another Let's Play video. Today, as you can see, it's going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Hyperstone Heist for the Sega Genesis. This is, sort of a game semi-based on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, which was originally an arcade game and then later ported to Super Nintendo with some additions. However, Hyperstone Heist is not an exact translation of Turtles in Time. It's a variation on the game. It actually has some of the same levels from Turtles in Time. It has a lot of the same music from Turtles in Time. It's got the same general graphical style from Turtles in Time, which is great. But it also chopped out a lot of stages from Turtles in Time and added in a few exclusive stages to the Sega Genesis version, I believe, as well as a few exclusive bosses. Now, this is a game I used to play a lot when I was younger. I absolutely loved the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games, and the Genesis version was probably the one I played the most, because, I don't know why. I guess it was the only one I actually owned. I don't think I ever actually owned Turtles in Time. I just knew people with it, whereas the Hyperstone Heist I had eventually acquired on my own, and so I played it over and over and over and over again. So this is probably my most played Turtles game, aside from Turtles 2 on the original NES. So, however, with that said, I'm actually relatively cold when it comes to this game. I haven't played it in a while. I played a quick warm-up round of literally like 30 seconds just to remember what the controls were, and then I went straight into doing this Let's Play video. So I'm going at this cold, and so I can't make any guarantees I'll be able to complete the game in its entirety. But we'll go ahead and try it. I've got the continues on 5, I'm going to leave them there. The stock is actually 3, and you know what, 5, I shouldn't even really... I don't even remember if you continue in this game, if you actually just come right back where you left off, or if you have to start the level over again. I don't remember. But I'm going to leave it at 5, just in case. If it's the kind where I just hop right back in, I'll just sort of credit feed my way till the end. Otherwise, I might just use a continue or 2 and then give up, because I don't want this video to go on forever, as usual. We're going to go ahead and leave the game level on normal. When I was playing this game a lot back in the day, I would actually purposely play it on hard mode, and it is actually a lot harder, which is great. And of course, there's easy mode for you guys that aren't as adept when it comes to the eye-hand coordination. So yeah, there we go. That's basically it. We'll go ahead and get out and get straight into the game and head right in. 1992, wow, look at that. I thought this game was 93. Impressive. Well, that explains why the box art was still not using the red striped art, which started in 1993. So, for a 1992 game, this game is actually pretty amazing on the Sega Genesis. It wasn't until, I'd say, well, I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and stop there. I'm not gonna go rant on about that. I think it's actually a pretty nice game, visually speaking. Lots of colors and so forth, and big sprites. So Donatello's always been my favorite because he's got the longest reach. Some people are gonna prefer other characters. I've always preferred Donatello because of his reach, and he's still really fast. So, long reach, really fast, I don't really see why you'd want to play as anybody else, in terms of survival anyway. Other characters are going to be a little more difficult to play as, like Raphael, for instance, and Michelangelo, because their weapons don't go out as long. But that could be something you might want to play as those characters if you want more of a challenge or something like that. So, but I always prefer to play as Donatello. So, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, because the Sega Genesis doesn't really have scaling techniques or scaling capabilities sort of just built into the system, unlike the Super Nintendo, which has the Mode 7, which is probably easily activated, you don't have some of those abilities that you did in the Super Nintendo version where you'd, say, pick an enemy and you'd toss them at the screen and sort of crack the camera screen for a split moment. You don't have that in this one. For better or for worse, depending on your tastes. I don't mind that feature gone at all. I actually kind of, at first when I was younger, I thought it was cool in the Super Nintendo one, but over time I found it to be kind of gimmicky. And so the Genesis version is almost like the more raw experience, like to the point Turtles game. So Now, these first few stages are in Turtles in Time. They're not played in the exact same order, obviously. In Turtles in Time, you actually start off in a sort of like a rooftop construction kind of area, and this one is a little bit different. You kind of start off on some of the stages that would be counted as level 2 in Turtles in Time, or something like that. So, now one of my favorite moves to do in this game is the dash slide. You can cut through multiple enemies at a time, and it's just extremely useful. It's arguably the most useful weapon in the game, or maneuver in the game. Not really a weapon per se, but just attacking with your regular hand-to-hand attacks is really useful as well. And one thing I'm going to stress, if you've never really played this game before, or if you have and you have trouble at it, you're going to get surrounded a lot in this game. And one thing I would do a lot when I was a kid, or younger, not always just a kid, but an early teenager and early 20-something when I would play the game, is you can sort of bounce your attacks back and forth. So rather than just constantly attacking straight, you basically have a 4-hit combo. Instead of just focusing on one guy, when you're surrounded, you can go thwack, 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 just back and forth like that. And it'll pretty much just keep enemies in their place, and it's relatively safe. So it's a way to sort of multitask when there's a lot of enemies surrounding you. And as we progress through this playthrough, you'll see there will probably be a lot of enemies surrounding me. So kind of like that, just back and forth, back and forth. And you're going to see me doing that a lot as this video progresses. But if you're ever in a bind, do the dash. Get out of harm's way really quick. I mean, if you want, you don't even have to attack any enemies. Just do it to get out of the way of the enemies, while remaining in an attack form that will cause damage in case an enemy runs your way. Now, you could say, well, why don't you just dash? Well, you see, when you dash, you're not 100% safe. Like, when I'm sliding on the ground like this, notice I'm just cutting through these enemies, no problem at all. I mean, I could probably use that move for the entire game if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. So, and one of the things I really love about this version that I like over, say, Turtles in Time, is that in Turtles in Time, or at least on the Super Nintendo, you have to hold to dash in that game. Now, there might be an option to turn that off, I don't recall, but in the Sega Genesis version, you just use C. You hold C and hold in a direction, you automatically dash. Now, what's great about dashing is that you have a variety of moves you can do while you dash. You can just slam into enemies and throw them eventually. You can do that. Yeah, that's really useful too. Basically, by dashing and then pressing both A and B together, you do this nice running kick, like so, or sort of flying, hovering kick. Now, if you dash and you press B, you'll start doing sort of backflips. And while you're doing the backflips, if you press A, which is your attack, you'll do the slide attack. So what you can do is pretty much start from button C and then just sort of like cascade your way down. Roll the thumbs off from C to B to A really quick, as long as you're holding in that direction, and you'll keep doing this slide. Look at this. I don't even have to do anything. I can just roll, roll. Whoa! I was trying to roll, but I didn't do it fast enough. So yeah, the dash is pretty much mandatory in this game if you want to really be flexible and pretty much be good with your attacks. And then you get the special pizza power power-up, but unfortunately it lasts about 3 seconds, and that's it. This is not really very useful, so whenever you see that item, it's not like a yay moment, it's just yay. It's like, I know what it's gonna do. I'm gonna kill 8 enemies that are gonna pop out of the same door or something like that, and it's just something that kind of happens throughout the course of the game, and you get to know where that power-up is. It never really randomizes or anything. Okay, so on this level, we actually... I want to say we start fighting those sort of green alien-looking things that pop out of the water. They were really frequent in the cartoon series. God, I love that series from when I was a kid. I used to watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles all the time. That was officially my cartoon back in the day. I had them all on VHS and everything. So yeah. Sorry, I just had to throw that out there. So yeah, I believe they make an appearance starting on this stage. I know there's going to be a, whatchamacallit. There we go. And as they pop up, I like to just sort of, if they come all the way to the right, I can just thwack them like that, right before they even come up out of the water. Oops, that didn't work. That didn't work either. That didn't work either. Wow. I suck. There we go. Redeeming myself a little bit now. There we go. Alright, we're close to the boss fight. I want to say it's like Leatherhead or something like that. I don't remember the name. It's been a while since I played the game. But he's the first boss, and I don't think he's in Turtles in Time. I think he's special to the Genesis version. And he's a really easy boss. Maybe he is in Turtles in Time, I just don't remember. It's been so long since I beat that game. Wow. So you can basically knock him a little bit, and then he does a dash, knock him again, dash, rinse and repeat. A lot of the bosses in this game have simplistic patterns, but the bosses do get more difficult. So, you know, don't get too comfortable if you fight this boss, beat him on your first try. Oops. And just in traditional beat-em-up fashion, you can sort of just keep attacking and let the enemies just kind of roll or walk into your attacks. And that's generally the safe bet in this game a lot of the time. Just like this. He just kind of like walked into my attack. Just like that. I've been beaten by a bunch of teenage turtles. Well, yeah, that's kind of what we are, right? That's funny. I haven't seen that quote in a long time. I completely forgot about it. That's what's fun about doing these Let's Plays kind of blind and not really rehearsing for a game, because I get to sort of see all these quotes again while I'm playing with you guys, so to say. Or playing for you guys. Alright. So this part, as you can see, enemies pretty much just get knocked down in one hit. And you want to pick up these question marks. They pretty much add to your score counter up top. And pretty much every enemy in the game that you kill will give you a certain amount to that score counter. I want to say every 100 gives you an extra life, I think. I'm not 100% sure. So we're at 198. Nope. I got to 200, I got no extra life. Maybe it's 3, 4, 500. Pretty sure you do get extra lives from getting your score up, so it's pretty important to kill as many enemies as you can if you want to survive and not continue. Like, my ultimate goal when I play games isn't to really perfect them to the point where I'm getting like super high scores and I'm able to, you know, 1cc them, or not 1cc, but like no death run them. I'm not that hardcore, but I do want to do everything I can to be able to beat the game without continuing. That's my sort of ultimate satisfaction, is if I can beat a game without continuing, then that's good. You know, because there's a lot of people out there that can't even do that. So I still feel pretty good about being able to beat a game without continuing. And part of being able to beat a game without continuing is knowing when your extra lives come into play. It's almost kind of like playing pinball. And if you're playing on location in pinball, not at my house, because these won't be enabled at my house, but if you're playing location pinball, and you're trying to play as long as you can, get as far as you can in the game, you want to know when those extra balls are going to come up, because those are going to be your extra lives, essentially, just like in video games. And so I kind of look at that the same way with video games like this. Like, when am I going to get my extra life? What do I have to work towards to get that extra life? In case, say, I screw up, or, you know, or if I get to the last boss and I'm rusty and the boss kind of kicks my ass, but having that one extra life can make a world of difference. So, and that's really a part of sort of dominating the game as well, is knowing when you're going to get those extra lives and kind of working towards that to help you along in your journey of 1cc'ing the game, 1 credit clearing the game. So, I don't remember what the minimum count was, though, in this to get your extra life. So, I thought it was like every 100 hits you got an extra life. Maybe it's like 300 or 400, or maybe it's even something like 500. It could very well be 500. Because it actually does seem kind of absurd if you get 100 or I'm sorry, or for 100 kills gives you an extra life, because as you can see, I haven't really had much in terms of a challenge so far. Now that'll probably change, because again, I'm rusty. I haven't played this game in a while, so... Ooh, just like that, and I didn't even see that coming. Whoa. We got kind of lucky with that. I was expecting to get hit by those barrels. So just back and forth, back and forth. Whoa. Remember these guys. They're not actually too bad. Just make sure you attack them at the right time. Kill the guys with the guns, obviously. That's kind of like common sense if you play a lot of old school video games. The guys with the guns are usually, they have a tendency to be the most deadly because they can be long range, whereas the other guys might not be. So, especially when they are carrying really big bazooka looking things, those can usually deal a lot of damage. Okay, it must be 300 because I got an extra life. So that's good to know. So let's see if when I get to 600, if I get another extra life. Nice. 3-for-1 deal. Ow. See, that back and forth really helped me on those guys. Otherwise, I probably would have died. Oh, that was bad. I didn't want to do that. There are certain special attacks in this game that'll take away life, and I never use them in this game. They are just... they're not good. Because they take away life. And you have other moves that actually come out faster sometimes. Oh, that was close. Oh, I say I did it again by accident. And you do it by pressing A and B together, and I'm not going to try to do it again. What's happening is I'm not tapping my dash button at the right time, or I'm not holding forward, so I'm not dashing even though I sort of press the button. And so instead, when I go to tap B then A, I end up doing my special, which is bad. Whoa. That probably would have hurt, that bazooka to the head. And if you really get in a bind and you're not feeling confident, you can really just go back and forth like this with the slide attack. But you know, that gets kind of boring, so I really only do it if I have to, or if things get really, really nasty. Look at that, another free pizza. I'm gonna go ahead and try to save it. Because I don't think he's gonna take the rest of my life in one hit. Whoa. There we go, there's his gun. Well, I don't remember him being this easy. Is Bebop gonna come out too? Oh yeah, there might be, he might come back later on and I fight him with Bebop. I don't remember. Maybe that's TMNT 2, the arcade game. I don't remember. I play these games so infrequently these days that details like that just elude me when I come back to them. And this is another one of those levels that I believe is not in Turtles in Time. And I believe the boss here is also not in Turtles in Time. If you notice, the sliding just cuts through these blocking guys like they can't do anything about it. Really good to know as well. Bam! Block that. Oh, man. I'm almost thinking maybe I should have put this on hard mode, but it's probably good I didn't, because I definitely want to try to, you know, when I do these Let's Plays, I like to get as far as I can while I'm recording for you guys. I don't want to just die over and over and over. There are a few exceptions, like playing Lords of Thunder on the Turbo Duo, as well as R-Type on the Turbo Duo, which those Let's Plays were pretty much disasters, where I spent half the video just dying over and over. So if you want some controller throwing entertainment, watch those. Likewise with my Raiden Let's Play for the PlayStation. That was a disaster too. Now if I see pizza on the ground and I've got a good bit of life, I like to just save it. You know, scroll the screen a little bit. Okay. Well, obviously I'm going to scroll the pizza out, so I'm going to go ahead and grab it now. But I like to save it in case I get hit. Did he seriously throw that block and it just came back? It killed him? Oh, that's great. These guys can be really annoying if you let them get all over you. That was good, I slid right under him. I want to say when it comes to the foot soldiers, you only fight 4 at a time. And I think that's the case even when you're playing on the hardest mode, so you can keep in mind that when it comes to these regular enemies, you're only going to be fighting 4 at a time. And the second you kill 2, a lot of times 2 more will come right back in, see? Now in the arcade versions of, say, Turtles in Time and the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, you actually fought a lot more enemies at once, so even in single-player mode. Ooh, that's right, you don't want to jump. I hit those spikes. I didn't even think about that. But I know that's definitely what did damage to me, that's for sure. That's such a satisfying move. You just slam them back and forth. Oh, that's great. Turtles in Time was such a great game. The Hyperstone Heist really takes a lot of what's really good about Turtles in Time and sort of just injects it with its own sort of uniqueness in terms of like levels and things like that. And the overall just feel of the game, thanks to it being on a Sega Genesis versus a Super Nintendo. You know, you've got different controller styles, the sound hardware is vastly different, so you have some differences that will appeal to some people, like me. I love the music in this game, you know, it sounds like arcade games from that time period, you know. But other people might not like it as much, you know. So I'm pretty sure there have been debates online over which Turtles game is way better. And, you know, Turtles in Time, there's no doubt that's probably the better game. But there's no discounting this game either. This is an awesome Turtles game that really shouldn't be dismissed. Even if you have Turtles in Time, I highly recommend playing this, simply because you've got extra levels and things like that. It's so much easier to dash in this one. It's very satisfying to play this version. Alright, we're at the boss. I don't remember this boss being difficult, but I could be wrong. That's right, Tatsu. Okay, more foot soldiers. Great. Yeah, I was just trying to focus. I was like, man, I don't remember his pattern. I remember being able to slide under his attacks, or slide to the point where when he falls, you kind of just land on him. And I think this actually takes us towards... Yeah, I think I got another extra life. This takes us towards... I want to say there's only 5 scenes in the game. So I remember going through a cave, and then going through the Technodrome, and then that was it. The game's definitely not that long compared to Turtles in Time. Like, Turtles in Time, I believe, was a huge game. It's been a while since I've gone all the way through that game, but I definitely remember it being a good bit longer than this one. A lot of stages. Love the soundtrack in this game too. Sometimes if I'm out like working on the pinball machines or something like that, I'll load up my second computer, which we just use for multimedia and things like that, out in the main room, and I'll load up emulators, and then we'll basically just like pick games that have sound test menus, and this is one of them, and I'll just play music like this as I'm working on the pinball machines. And I hope there's a pizza after this. See, this Leatherhead is a little more difficult, a little bit faster. He does more damage if you get hit. Ooh. So, try not to get hit. Oh, what? Come on, I was pressing the button, man. Man, that's sad. That was my first death. Yeah, it's not wise to just get in on him and attack. You want to keep your distance, because the second you do your 4th hit, he goes into his, he basically goes into his dash mode. And I'm assuming it's probably the same with Rocksteady. And he basically automatically damages you, even though he hasn't gone anywhere yet. He's just prepped his dash. So that's another reason why Donatello's great. You can kind of keep your distance. Like, look how far away I am when I'm attacking him. Still making contact. So for me to get in really close is just kind of dumb. You know, it's stupidity on my part. Here we go. Alright, so it looks like the bosses give you 5 points on your hit count. Jeez, him again? I just fought you! Jeez, these guys are kicking my ass now. God, I knew that was gonna happen. See, it's tough to fight multiple enemies around you when there's another guy shooting projectiles at you the whole time. So I was thinking maybe I could just get in, dash one way, dash out. And it looks like, you know, that definitely works, because he doesn't really counterattack aside from throwing those stupid projectiles. You know, looking like the badass he is, he just sits there and throws projectiles at you. Ow. And like the dumbass I am, I run into them. Oh, man. Alright. There we go. That's a familiar face. You could probably guess how you have to beat this guy, you know. He's flying, well, there's only so many air attacks you can do, so... I prefer the fast jump kick, because as you can see, it'll sometimes attack the mousers as they come down. And, you have other slower attacks. If you start attacking when you're lower to the ground, you'll do some other lobs, but they're not nearly as reliable. The jump kick, again, you come down, you do damage to other enemies and not just who you're trying to attack. Yeah. And this is like the, this is what you would do in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 on the NES, the port of the arcade game. You would jump kick one way, jump kick the other way, jump kick one way, jump kick the other way. Now that maneuver doesn't work as well in this game, but it works on this guy. And if you do it really fast, you kind of just keep stunning him. Like so. The regular jump kick's not that powerful though compared to your other attacks, so, you know. And that's one reason why you never really see me use it on other enemies as well. Man, I probably could have just stayed there and grinded on those mousers to get, hopefully another extra life. So we're at 31 minutes so far, and we're making pretty good progress. I want to say we're on the last level now. So we'll see if I can manage to complete this whole stage without continuing. Welcome, puny turtles. Oh yeah, I want to say he turns into like Ultimate Shredder or Mega Shredder or Hyper Shredder or something like that. The final shell shock. Yeah, this game is kind of short compared to Turtles in Time. But short and sweet is never a bad thing in my book. In some ways, it's better for these older games where adults like myself don't have a million hours to sit down and practice them over and over. So sometimes short and sweet is better for my lifestyle at the moment. Of course, as I say that, I keep recording these videos that take time to do, so I don't... Yeah, whatever. I'm a hypocrite. Oh, man. These guys always catch me off guard. I forgot the music goes, hey, hey, hey! Using the really bad voice sample that the Genesis is infamously known for. Usually voice samples don't sound that good in the Sega Genesis, unfortunately. But I guess when you have sound hardware that's meant for FM synthesis and not so much sampling high quality sounds, it's, you know, when you do try to actually sample something, depending on the sound engine you've written, it's probably not going to sound nearly as crisp as something that was actually meant to work with samples, like the Super Nintendo. You know, the Super Nintendo, it was pretty much, yeah, it was sample based pretty much, and that's why you had really nice piano sounds and things like that. You know, they were kind of sampled, and you know, the hardware was kind of meant to get that nice crisp sound. Although the Super Nintendo sound hardware could sound atrocious as well, depending on what, you know, whose hands the hardware was in. In the case of like Super Adventure Island or Turtles in Time, it sounded amazing. Or Super Castlevania 4, it sounded amazing. But in the case of like the Page Master or something, it sounded so reverb laden that it was just hard to listen to. Both styles of sound hardware had their, I'm talking between the Genesis and say the Super Nintendo, they had their advantages and disadvantages. It was just the nature of the beast at the time. It wasn't like the Saturn and PlayStation era where you know, both systems were able to output pretty much identical sound for the most part, you know. So you had the same kind of sounds on both systems. In the Genesis and Super Nintendo days, that was not the case. Both systems sounded pretty different from one another, which I kind of like. That gives them both personality and yet another reason to go back and visit them. Yet another reason to appreciate both of them. God, I died again. Ow. There we go. I gotta get out of the way. I keep playing stupid. And I don't like, if you're too close to an enemy... Ah, I did it again! Get away from me. If you're too close to an enemy, you'll notice that, especially in the case of like Donatello, he'll do this attack where he sort of like flicks his bow with one hand right in front of the enemies, and it's a slow attack and it leaves you open. And... Oh, come on, man! I wasn't even able to move. And that is why you don't freaking get hit by the enemies in the first place. You don't play stupid, because then you'll... In a game like this, you will get punished, and it can get a little frustrating. Krang. I knew this was going to be Krang. I'll show you the power of Super Krang. Oh, it's not just Krang, it's Super Krang. Ah, great. I don't even remember how to fight him. Oh, man, it's been so long. Oy. Oh, come on, man. Of course he's flying, so my low kick isn't gonna work. Jeez, what do I have to do? Just jump kick him all day? I don't want to just jump kick him. It's boring. Jump kicks are boring. I don't even, to be honest, I don't even remember him being like this. It's been so long since I've gotten this far. Wow. I don't think I've beaten this game since, geez, it very well might have been 10 or 12 years since I've last beaten this game, now that I think about it. I've played it on and off, but I usually just play a couple stages, like I do with a lot of old games from this time period. So this is like almost completely new to me again. I just completely forgot his pattern existed like this, and I don't know how to counter it as a result. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm guessing just jump kicks and just grinding away on him, because attacking on foot doesn't seem to really do much, because that's risky, yeah. Ah. He's just flying around like, hey, I do this every day for fun. Getting some exercise. Even though I'm a big robot and I don't need exercise, I'll do it anyway. Alright, let's try not to get killed. So it seems like if I can get him to just stop and do his projectile thing... Whoa, that doesn't look good. Ugh. I want to say after this we get zapped into some other realm and fight Ultra Shredder or something, because I don't remember fighting him in the Technodrome. Although we might very well. I don't. Again, it's probably been, like I said, 10 or 12 years since I've last beaten this game. I mean, I used to play the crap out of the game way back then, but it's been a long time since I've actually finished it. Okay, I don't like that pattern. Stop that. Oh. Really, man? Ugh. That's so much damage. Oh, it's only gonna be a couple more hits. If that. Yes! Can't believe I've lost that many lives so far. But Super Shredder will. I didn't even get an extra life. I'm at 800 and something points. Maybe 900 will be the ticket. Or not. I have a feeling enemies are gonna fall on me. Streets of Rage 2 style. What I'm most interested to see is how the continue system will work. If I continue and I have to go back and then fight Krang all over again or something like that, that'll be the most interesting for me. Because again, it's been a long time since I've beaten this game, so I have no idea how like the continue system works. I like that when the mouths just come out. You get a lot of points racked up really quickly. This is probably going to be like the Stone Soldiers or whatever they're called. Nope. Glad I was wrong. Yeah, the blocking guys just chop right through them, otherwise you're just wasting hits. No one, huh? Okay. Okay, so we are at Super Shredder. Alright, last boss, guys! Let's see if I can do this on one life. Probably not likely. I could cheat and put in a second controller and hit start, but I'm not gonna do that. Oh, what? I didn't even mean to do that. What the hell, dude? What? I'm trying to dash, and there we go. Am I doing something wrong here? I don't remember him being so... Why can't I hit him? What the hell, man? Seriously? I seriously remember this guy being really easy back in the day. I can't even hit him. Or am I supposed to just like watch him act like a bumbling idiot and just die? Seriously? Alright. Oh, you're... Okay. Whew. It said scene 5, I was like, no! We're not going all the way back. Now my question is, why can't I hit him? I seriously don't remember Super Shredder being difficult at all. I mean, unless I'm supposed to just watch him do something. My attacks aren't doing anything. Oh, there we go. Okay. My toes, my toes. It seems like only the blue one is worthwhile in terms of being able to hit him because he shoots up. The fire one's obviously bad because he shoots down. The green one's not that great because he shoots forward. Give me the blue one, man. Just like that. I don't even remember there being this kind of pattern, though. Oh, no! He did the move that he did in the original arcade game. He turns you into a turtle right away. It's basically a one-hit kill, which is bad. So green is really bad. Stay away from the green. Give me the blue. Just like that. That's what I'm talking about. Ow. Ah, too close. I hit the flames. Don't want to get hit by that. Is that it? The final shell shock clear. There's a little guy going, yeah! That's awesome. Alright guys, well, there you have it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Hyperstone Heist. Unfortunately, I did not perform as well as I had hoped. I did pretty well in the first half of the game, but then it started falling apart in the second half of the game. But like I said, it's been actually a long time since I really sat down and really tried to play the game and actually beat the game. So, especially those last couple stages I just was not familiar with anymore. But yeah, hey, one continue, not too bad. You know, get to the final boss on my first run. Not too shabby, I guess, for not having beaten the game in so long. So, but anyway, with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here. I hope you enjoyed this Let's Play video. Stay tuned, I'll be back with some more Let's Play videos. And until next time, guys, take care.